Hey guys, this is Armaan Tafti. This year I'll be teaching you ICSE maths, and my first video is on linear inequalities. I hope you like it. Hello, today we'll be discussing linear inequalities. And before we start solving the questions, there are just some concepts that I would like to revisit once. So, pretty much all the concepts here have been covered in previous classes, and this is an extremely simple chapter. So, just to reiterate once, what is a linear inequality? A linear inequality is simply an equation in one variable, which is raised to the power one. So you won't ever find x square or x cube here. So that's one benefit. This will come in higher classes. So it's simply a linear inequality is just something like 6x minus 3. And instead of an equal to sign, you'll have less than equal to, greater than equal to, less than or greater than. And you'll have another number here like 3 or 4 or 5 and so on. And the question will also give you another information, and that is that your x either belongs to I, or it belongs to W, or it belongs to N, or it belongs to R. So let's just go over what all this means once. Okay, so before we do that, just one quick rule that I would like to reiterate, and that is that if you ever in a linear inequality divide or multiply by a negative number, then the sign always gets flipped. So now let's say if this was minus 6x is equal to 3 and minus 6x is greater than 3, what is the difference that would happen? If you have an equation, you would simply say x is equal to 3 by minus 6, which is minus 1 over 2. But over here in an inequality, what will happen is you will say x, since it's a negative sign, flip the sign, and 3 over minus 6, which is minus 1 over 2. So that's the difference here. Sign gets the less than becomes greater than, less than equals to becomes greater than equals to. And yes, okay. So now let's quickly go over what I, W, N, and R mean, since you will probably encounter this in your questions. Okay, so whenever you see that X belongs to I, that means that X is an integer. When you see X belongs to W, that means that X is still an integer, but X is specifically greater than 0. It's also an integer, but it's greater than or equal to 0. So whole numbers start from 0. If you see X belongs to N, then X is an integer, but X is greater than 0. So 0 is not included. So X belongs to I here, and X also belongs to I here. Okay, and now the two more trickier ones. You'll find is that X belongs to R. When you see this, you know that X is a real number. Now, what exactly is a real number? A real number is either rational or irrational, but it does not include imaginary numbers. So for most of the questions, you'll be seeing X belongs to R. Okay. And another thing you may see doesn't make much of a difference for the purpose of this chapter is X belongs to Q, and that means that X is rational. Okay. So now that we've covered all of this, let's simply move on and start solving some of the questions. Okay, so first question, we have to express this and solve this solution, solve the following equation, write the solution set, and represent it on the number line. So three parts. First, solve, write the solution set, and then represent it on a number line. And you mark for all three of these points. So first thing, you notice that X belongs to R. Okay, so now let's just start solving it. So first step, always make the denominator 7 common so that you can cancel it out. And for that, let's multiply this first term by 7. So that's 7 times 5x minus 21 over 7, which is less than 5x minus, multiply this by 7, 42 by 7, which is less than or equal to 3 sevens are 21 plus 3, 24, minus 24. And we have an x here to multiply by 7 plus 7x over 7. Now we can cancel out the 7s on all three sides. So that's 7, gone, gone. Now if we simplify this, we get 35x minus 147 is less than 5x minus 42, which is less than or equal to 7x minus 24. Now, after this step, we have to divide our page into two halves. So let's do that. And now we first tackle this part of our inequality and solve it like a normal linear equation only. So we just tackle this part of it. That's 35x minus 147 is less than 5x minus 42. And now if we just simply solve it, 35x minus 5x is 30x, which is less than 147 minus 42, which is 105. You'll have x is less than 105 over 30. And if you cancel both sides by 15, you'll get x is less than 7 over 2, which is 3.5. Now let's do the same for the right side. And again, we just consider these two parts and we solve it normally only. So that's what 5x minus 42 less than or equal to 7x minus 24. Always keep the coefficient of x positive because then you don't have to switch the less than equal to greater than equal to, and that makes your entire calculation easier. So that's what minus 42 plus 24 less than or equal to 7x minus 5x. Now, if we solve this, that's 2x, which is greater than or equal to minus 18. So your x is greater than or equal to minus 9. Now, first part is done. Now we write the solution set. Before we write the solution set, let's just quickly write our solution down properly, and that is minus 9 less than or equal to x less than 3.5. And what is our solution set? So solution set is simply right. Remember this very carefully. This is very important. X such that minus 9 less than or equal to x less than 3.5. And this part is essential. Don't forget it. You have to specify that your x is a real number. Now, after we've done this, the third part of the question is to solve it on a real, represent it on a real number line. So that let's get a straight line here. Don't forget the arrowheads because you often lose marks for that. And another part you should do is, it's a good habit, write x and x dash here. And now we have minus 9. So let's start numbering the number line from minus 10 onwards. So that's minus 10, minus 9, minus 8, minus 7, minus 6, minus 5, minus 4, minus 3, minus 2, minus 1, 0, 1, 2, 3. Let's get some space. 4. Now 3.5 is somewhere out here. So now over here, one thing to note here is that it's less than equal to sign here. That means that x can be equal to minus 9. But since there's a less than sign here, that means that x can never be equal to 3.5. Has to always be less than it. So since x can be equal to minus 9, what we do is we make a circle and then fill it in, which signifies that x can be equal to minus 9. But now, if we go to the other side, we see 3.5. X can never be equal to 3.5. It can come extremely close to it, but it can never be equal to it. That's why we simply just make a hollow circle. And then we shade everything in between because x can be any value that's between these 2 points. So we can have one here, just to make it more clear, another point here. And now all of these three steps together, we get our complete solution. So first, solve, then write your complete answer, then show the solution set, and finally draw the number line. Now let's get on to the next question. Yeah, okay. So now we're going to solve this inequation and same process again. Over here we see 3 and we see 5, common denominator 15. And once again, x belongs to real r, which means x is a real number. So let's make the denominator 15. Let's multiply this by 15 times 3 minus 2x over 15. So greater than or equal to, multiply this by 15, 15x. Since it's already 3 here, we multiply this by 5. Which is greater than 2x by 5. Multiply this by 3 here. So that's 6x by 15. Cancel all the 15s. That makes our calculations much easier. And now let's simplify this once. 15 times 3 is 45 minus 30x greater than equal to 15x plus 5 minus 5x greater than 6x. I think we'll have to simplify it once more. That's 45 minus 30x greater than equal to 15x minus 5x is 10x plus 5, which is greater than 6x. Now, once again, divide your page into two columns and solve the left-hand side part first. So we have 45 minus 30x greater than or equal to 10x plus 5. So let's keep the coefficient of x positive so that we don't have to reverse less than or equal to, and that makes our calculations a whole lot easier. So 45 minus 5, which is simply 40, is greater than or equal to 10x plus 30x, which is 40x. So x is less than or equal to 1. Now let's move on to the other side, where we have 10x plus 5 greater than 6x. Simply bring this here, so you've got 4x greater than minus 5, and x is greater than minus 5 over 4. And always just calculate it, show this in decimals as well, because it will help you with your number line. Let's quickly divide this. 2 side and 1.25. So this is minus 1.25. Okay, now let us show this on a number. Now let's represent our solution. So that is second. Okay, yeah. So let's write a solution that's minus 5 over 4 is less than x, which is less than or equal to 1. Now, if we write our solution set, let's just give ourselves more space. So now if I write my solution set, it looks something like curly braces x such that minus 1.25 less than x less than equal to 1, and x is a real number. Now we can draw a number line on basis of this information. Don't forget the arrowheads, x dash and x here. And we start numbering, so that's minus 2, minus 1, 0, 1, and 2. So your minus 1.25 will come somewhere out here. Once again, x is less than minus 1.25. It can never be equal to it. That's why we put a hollow circle here. X can be equal to 1. So we put a filled circle in here. And now we shade it in the middle. Let me just check if that's the correct answer. Yes, okay, that is. So let's move on to the next question now. Question number 3. Now, all these questions are from past year sample papers and board papers. You should practice more questions from the ML Agarwal book, but this much is pretty sufficient for the purpose of teaching the chapter. Okay, so again, same steps again. Denominator of 2 over here. Note that x belongs to I, so we'll deal with that as well. So first step, make the denominator 2. So multiply this by 2. So it's 2 minus 3 plus x less than or equal to 7x plus 2 times 2, 4. Obviously, divide this by 2, divide this by 2, and less than 8 plus 2x. So that's 2 times 8 plus 2x by 2. Cancel out all the 2's. Simplify. Minus 6 plus 2x less than or equal to 7x plus 4 less than 16 plus 4x. Divide your page into two columns. And now solve them. I'm going slightly faster now because you should have a hang of it by now. So you have what? Minus 6 minus 4, which is minus 10, which is less than or equal to 7x minus 2x, which is 5x. So yeah, x is greater than or equal to minus 2. And on the other side, you have 7x minus 4x, which is 3x, which is less than 16 minus 4, which is 12. So x is less than 4. Write the solution down, which is minus 2 less than or equal to x less than 4. Write the solution set, which equals to, again, now over here, it's an integer. You know that x belongs to I here. That means that you can just directly write down the values of x. So if you want, we can first write down how we normally did it before. X such that minus 2 less than or equal to x less than 4. X belongs to I. But now we can further simplify this and say that it's actually equal to what? Minus 2, minus 1, 0, 1, 2, and 3, because it can never be equal to 4. Now we simply plot just this onto the number line. Plot this onto the number line. And let's start with minus 3 because you'd always include one more. Okay, obviously x dash. Please don't forget the arrowheads because they do cut marks for that. And we have minus 2, minus 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, and a 4. So for each point that's there, because it cannot be any point in the middle, you just change the points that are possible. So minus 2, minus 1, 0, 1, 2, and 3. There we go. This was a simpler one. Let me just check if the answer is correct. Yeah, okay. Now let's move on to the next question. Right. Okay. Yeah, okay. So now we have, yeah, first two. Okay. Now we have over here, there is no LCM that needs to be taken, and X belongs to R once again. So it's like the first two questions we did. Let's just directly open the brackets and simplify this. So we have minus 5x plus 45 greater than or equal to 17 minus 9x greater than x plus 2. Divide your page into two columns and simplify this. Make sure the coefficient of x is positive. So bring this here. So 9x minus 5x is 4x, which is greater than or equal to 17 minus 45 on this side. And now again, make sure the coefficient of x is positive. So bring this one here. So you have what? 17 minus 2, which is 15, which is greater than 10x. And now if you solve both sides, you have 4x is greater than minus 28. Your x is greater than minus 7. And over here, you have your x is less than 3 over 2, which is 1.5. Now, let's write down our solutions. So first is, oh, wait, see, okay, this is a common mistake. I forgot to write the equal to sign here, and my entire question would have gone wrong. So now let's write our minus 7 less than or equal to x less than 1.5. Now, solution is what? X such that minus 7 less than or equal to x less than 1.5 and x belongs to R. Now we can draw a number line. So that's minus 8. Always draw one more. And again, I'm repeating, please draw the arrowheads. Minus 7, minus 6, minus 5, minus 4, minus 3, minus 2. Okay, so now let's plot our 2 points. Minus 7, x can be equal to minus 7. So a filled circle. X can never be equal to 1.5. We say this point is 1.5. Follow circle and shade, since it's real. Let me just check if our answer is correct. And yes, it is. Yeah, okay. Now let's move on to the next question. Which is also our last question. Please do practice other questions on your own, but these questions should be enough for the purpose of teaching this chapter. Okay, so now, once again, you'll see that you have 5 here and you have 2 here. So you're going to take an LCM of 10. So let's just make that directly. So you have to multiply this by 2, so that's 6x. Multiply that by 10 over 10 is less than, multiply that entire thing by 10, less than or equal to, and multiply that by 5 and that by 10. Cancel all the 10s. Simplify. Divide your page into two columns. Solve both the inequalities. So bring this here so that your x has a positive coefficient, 10x minus 6x. So 20 minus 40 is minus 20. which is less than 10x minus 6x, which is 4x, where x is greater than minus 5. I'll do the same on this side. Make sure your x has a positive coefficient, so 10x minus 5x, which is 5x, less than or equal to 50 minus 40, which is 10. So x is less than or equal to 2. Now that you have that, express your solution. So that's minus 5 less than x less than or equal to 2. Now write the solution set. Solution is equal to x such that minus 5 less than x less than or equal to 2, and x belongs to R. And now we can draw our number line. X, x dash. Make sure that your signs are correct, less than and less than equal to, less than and less than equal to. And now we can solve this. So you have minus 6, one more, minus 5, minus 4, minus 3, minus 2, minus 1, 0, 1, 2, and one more, 3. Minus 5 is always less than x, so hollow circle. X can be equal to 2, so shaded circle. And shade it in between because x is real. Let me check if that's the correct answer. And yes, it is. So with this, we come to an end of this lecture. Please do practice these questions on your own. I would suggest that for this chapter, you don't look at the examples from ML Agarwal. Do what's covered in class, is given as classwork, and do what's given as homework. And you should be sorted for this chapter. As the papers of ICSE are becoming more and more application-based, I can assure you that this is the one question which will always remain the same. Every single year, this counts for a 3-marker, and you should always get this 3-marker right, even if you don't get anything else. Thank you.